Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a new Switch video. We're going to talk about the top 10 games that I have played that are my favorite. It's kind of top 12, honestly. You'll see as we get down the list. But I love this thing. This thing is awesome. It's my favorite electronic. And as I throw it over there, it's on a bed. It's on a bed. It's fine. But we're going to talk about my top 10. This is in no particular order. These are just my top 10 favorite games. Like I said, it's kind of closer to 12 because you'll see. You'll see. So the first one, do I even have to say it? Zelda Breath of the Wild. Amazing game. Amazing game. So the first time I played that, I kind of rushed through it, sort of. I say rushed, but I think my first playthrough was like 135 hours, which for that game, it's kind of average, on the lower end, average-ish. But I kind of raced through. Played some more games, then I jumped back into it, and I went through it a little bit more meticulously, collecting more of the Korok seeds and finding every single shrine. The first time I think there was a few missing, maybe 8 or so. I found every single shrine, 120. I also completed all of the DLC stuff, which was awesome. The Trial of the Sword and whatever the other one's called, I forget. Amazing, amazing game. Some time went by, and recently, last week, I picked it up again. I was like, you know what? I need to play this again, and I'm so into it again. I'm already at like 340 hours playing this game. So this game, this third time, I'm still new. I only unlocked the first area. As you know, there's, 9 or 10, 12 areas, I don't even know, to unlock. And still very early on, but I'm being even more meticulous last time, and I'm playing it on Master Mode, which is the hard mode, basically. All the enemies are harder, and it's just so much fun. So much fun. Breath of the Wild, the best game ever, in my opinion. Let's move on to the next game. It's actually a new game that I'm actually kind of still playing on the side. It's called Farm Together. Yeah, it's like a Farmville, but way better in 2019. And it's cool because if you have friends that are playing, or even if you don't have friends, you can go on other people's farms and help them out and gain XP. There's crops, there's animals, there's unlocking plots, there's trees, there's fish as well, and there's quests. It's a lot of fun to decorate your farm, plan out your farm. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm like 50 hours into that game, and I've kind of stopped playing it for Zelda, but I still try to go in once a day or every other day and just, you know, harvest my crops, my flowers, my plants, my fish, and just kind of like move on, because it's fun. It really is a fun game. Farm Together, it just came out like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or something like that. I tweet the developer sometimes because I had a trouble a couple times, and they get right back at you. I love that. When a developer to a game gets right back at you, or a company, anything, it's awesome. It's awesome to have that open communication with them. So that's the second one. Like I said, no particular order. Next game we're going to talk about is Final Fantasy 15. It's a port, but I've never played it before. Very, very good game. I'm not a huge fan of turn-based games, but this isn't a turn-based game. You would think it is a turn-based game, being an older game of Final Fantasy, but it's not. It's not turn-based, and it's awesome. The fighting style, I don't remember exactly because it's been a while since I played it. I'll definitely be playing it again. It's nice. Whatever it is, it's nice. It's a fixed camera, so the camera goes wherever the game wants it to go. You can't be using 2 analog sticks and turning the character all the different ways. It's a fixed camera, which you might not be into that. I didn't mind it. I wouldn't be into it either, I think, but playing the game, I didn't mind it, and it made it on the list, right? Because I like the game so much. Next game we're going to talk about, another old port, Skyrim. Lots of fun. I never played it in the past, so it was very fun to get into. I think I played a mage. Yeah, a mage. I'd like to play it again eventually. I'm not sure, not anytime soon, but it's definitely a fun game. It's definitely a long game. There's a lot to explore, kind of like Zelda Breath of the Wild. Don't get me wrong, Zelda Breath of the Wild is way better, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. But still, a huge world to explore and collect things, and just, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Next game we're going to talk about, another port, Doom. So much fun. Lots of fun. Shoot 'em ups, whatever you want to call it. there's levels that you go through, and there's demons, and at one point you're in hell, and you come back, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. A very, very fast-paced type of game. Like, you do not want to stop running around, because if you stop, an enemy will get you. You need to run while shooting, back away, come back, pick up items. You don't want to stop. It's very fast-paced. It's very, very fun. Very fun. If you haven't played it, definitely give it a shot if you're into those kind of games. Next game we're going to talk about is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I also want to say Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna. It's a separate game, but it takes place 500 years before the original game. And those games are very, very fun. The only gripe, I do have a gripe about it, especially Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the first one, the main one. There is a lot of cutscenes. There were times where I would just sit down and gameplay, or play my game, and I'm just watching cutscenes for like a half an hour. There's like this long cutscene, and then you have control of your character. You walk like 20 feet, another cutscene. You walk another 15 feet, another cutscene, and it was just like a lot of cutscenes. I wish they would have dumbed down the cutscenes a little bit, because it's a little bit much. If anything's gonna ruin the game for me, it would be that. But with that being said, the gameplay was very, very fun. There's a lot to the game. There's a lot to the game that you have to understand. You have blades that are connected to your main character, and they all have different kinds of abilities, and to do certain things in the games you need level 5 ability of lockpicking, let's just say. And this blade has level 1, this blade has 2, put them together, that's 3. You still need 2 more, so you have to connect all these blades to your characters and make it work so that you have the right amount of masteries. I know if you've never played this, this sounds very confusing, but there's a lot to learn with this game. So you need time. You're gonna do some Googling. You're gonna do some YouTubing to see what is going on and how to do certain things. You're not gonna understand things, but I got into it, and my friend was also playing around the same, or at the same time I was playing. So it was cool that we could talk to each other and learn from each other. You know, there was Googling as well and YouTubing also on the side, because like I said, there is a lot to learn with this game. But very fun game. Like, I had so much fun with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that I was like, okay, I'll get the next one, the Torna, which is a lot shorter than the first one. But it's worth it. It was a good game. And actually, there are some changes in Torna from the new one, and it's actually good changes. I really liked it. There's a change with the fighting and the blades and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go too far into it. We're going to talk about the next game. The next games, again, there's 2. Outlast and Outlast 2. I've never played these before. These are old ports. But Outlast was very, very fun. And Outlast 2, don't get me wrong, is fun. But I think I prefer Outlast over Outlast 2. So Outlast is a little bit different than most of the games. These kind of games, you would normally have weapons. And you run around and you defeat the enemies and get through and figure out puzzles and figure out where to go. This game is different in the sense because you're just a reporter. And reporters don't have weapons, they have a camera. That's it. So this reporter has to get through everything by sneaking around. You don't have anything to fight the monsters. So you don't fight monsters in this game. You sneak around them. You hide. It's very stealthy. Now, normally by hearing that it's a stealthy game, I wouldn't be into it because I generally don't like stealth kind of games. I'm not into it. I'd rather have a weapon and beat the enemy. It's much more fun and satisfying, honestly. But I tried this game because it looked awesome, and it was so much fun. So much fun. A lot of fun. Highly recommend it. It's definitely up on my list, very high up on my list, and I will definitely be playing that again. I don't know when. Soon. There's so many other games that I want to replay and play, and it's just like, it's hard to pick sometimes of which ones I want to play next. So I'll be playing Zelda for a while, I know that. Next game we're going to talk about is very similar to Dune, Wolfenstein 2. Another port. Most of these are ports, if not all. Not all of them. Wolfenstein 2, very fun. A lot shorter than I wanted, but still, I think it was like a 12-hour, 15-hour campaign or something like that. But the storyline was awesome. The enemies were awesome. The weapons were awesome. And it's very, very fun. It was good. There's not really much else I could say about this. It starts off interesting because you're like, I want to say handicapped or crippled, but there's a way around that. Not a way around that. Something happens in the story where you're not anymore for the rest of the game. But it's interesting at the beginning to be like that. And you're like, is this how the whole game is going to be? But it's not. Very fun game. Next game, there's 2 left. Resident Evil Revelations 2. I played Resident Evil Revelations, the first one, on the 3DS. And it was okay. You're comparing it to Resident Evil games, and it just didn't compare. It was made for the limited 3DS. You know, 3DS didn't have a high processor to process really awesome games, I feel like. And the screen, the graphics weren't the greatest, obviously. But now that we have the Switch, they released Revelations 2. I mean, it's a port from, I don't know who had it first, Xbox, or I'm not sure. I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. That's why I haven't played most of these games that are ports. So I'm experiencing it all on Switch, first time. But Resident Evil Revelations 2, I didn't expect too much from it. I'm a fan of the Resident Evil franchise, and I didn't expect too much of it, but I'm a fan, so I bought it and I got it. And wow, was I blown away how fun it was. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. I'll definitely be playing that again. I think I logged in over 15 hours of play on that, which is awesome. Pretty good size, because a lot of times I hate when you play a game, especially the pricier games, and it's under 10 hours or it's 5 hours. I don't like that. I like a longer game. But this game, super fun. Did not expect it, but it delivered. It delivered some fresh funness. And the last game I want to talk about is Noire, which is a very fun game. It's a long game too. I don't remember how long I have logged in to that game, how many hours I played that game, but it's definitely on the longer side. And you play a cop. Think Grand Theft Auto, but instead of being a gangster or whatever, you're a cop. So you're on the other side of the fence now. Now you're fighting the gangsters and trying to convict them, and you're talking to them. You're bringing them into the police station and you are questioning them. You have your notepad, you have suspects, locations, weapons, stuff like that, and you have to ask the right questions to convict these people. You ask the wrong questions, you got to start that whole thing over again. So it's fun. It's a classic whodunit kind of game, I guess, but a new take of it. You know, instead of like a board game of Clue, it's on a bigger scale. It's a video game and is a lot more involved, and Grand Theft Auto style. You know, you can take cars and drive them around, and big world to explore. And that is it. That's my top 10. Is that 10? Did I say it's top 10? 1, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, top 10. Top 10 games that I have played. I know there are games that might be on this list eventually, but I have not played it yet. I have a few games on my Switch that I haven't played yet, just not completely in there yet. Right now I'm into Zelda. So those are the top 10 games currently into. Let me know which games you have played in the comments down below. What are your favorite games on the Switch? Let me know, comments down below. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified, and I'll see you next time.